Okie dokie, good afternoon everyone. I'm back with another cake video, and while I decorate this cute little cake, I'm just gonna chat about stuff. Recently, we've had a whole heap of new followers, so welcome everyone who's new to the channel. Me and my business partner Katie were just chatting about how cool it is that we can make content that reaches around the world. Back when we started our business, we did not think that this is what we would be doing. The cake part, yes, but not the content creation. We have learnt so much over the years, and we could not be more excited about what is to come. It can be super daunting as well. Like, the more people you reach, the more you open yourself up to criticisms and all that jazz. But you know what? We will deal with whatever comes our way. And that leaves me with my question. Where are you from? Where are you watching this video from? Let us know. Okie dokie, so Thing has got to be hand down my favourite character. I just love how you can kind of tell what he's saying, even though he's just a hand. Also, Thing's got a bit of sass, which I like. Anywho, I had a lot of people ask me how I made it, so here's the vid. Now, you might be wondering what I'm using to make Thing, and it is modelling chocolate. I actually came into work the other day and Katie had made me some. Thanks for giving me a hand, Katie. And I was really excited because I have barely used it. I think I've used it like once and I squashed it into a mould and that's like it. However, I have worked with clay and that's what this reminded me of. You can blend it and sculpt it just like you can with clay. So while I think I'll still use fondant for like figurines and stuff like that, if I'm doing something that requires a lot of blending and smoothing and sculpting, modelling chocolate, far superior. Once I had the shape done, I added some edible dusts to make the hand look kind of dirty. He's got really dirty fingernails. Also added in all of the stitching, and there he is. How cool does he look? I then made my Wednesday-inspired monochrome cake, and then Thing, I knew from the start that I wanted to squash him on like that, and it was so satisfying. Full shaking, that was so terrifying. Okie dokie and g'day guys. This video is the making of the Kmart coffee cup. This is one of my viral videos that I made last year. And it also includes all the footage from Kmart. We took this cake into Kmart to pop it on a shelf so we could make a video to see if our followers could spot the cake. Not only that, but I ate it in front of the cashier, and that was absolutely terrifying. As you saw at the start, I was very nervous. As content creators, we're always trying to come up with crazy ideas to keep our channel fresh and exciting. And our followers seem to love these videos. Hopefully we'll be able to do some more in the near future. But for the time being, this video is one of my favorites. We just felt so dodgy trying to put this cake on a shelf and avoid staff, and yeah. Anyway, enjoy. Here we are in the Kmart car park. Let's do it. You're not going to film the whole thing, are you? No, just snippets. No, seriously, get it out of my phone. Wait, it's so busy. Oh God. Guys, we're hiding in the storage section. There's people everywhere and there's stuff everywhere. We can't get to the shelf that we need. What do we do? We are still waiting. We're still waiting for our shelf to clear up. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go. All right. Now we're going to do the reveal. Yep. We're in the queue. There's so many people. Oh, sorry. Oh, wow. That scared the hell out of me. Cake's been eaten. Now we've got to try and leave with it.
Hey guys, how we going? Hi. Hold on, sorry, but the blue one can't actually leave this.
Oh yeah, no, cool.
It's a what? Sorry?
It's a cake.
It's
I forgot to put the basket.
Put the basket back.
Full shaking. That was so terrifying, but we did it. Yes. Okie dokie and g'day guys. I've got a really cute video today. It is a repost, so if you've seen all my videos, you may have seen it, but it deserves another go around. As you can see, it is a rounded sort of shape with a pointy top. Kind of looks a little bit like an onion, but it's not. It is in fact a dumpling. Who here has seen the film Bao, the Pixar short film? Well, I'm making the cute little dumpling. This was for a little girl's, I want to say second birthday. And honestly, it's up there as one of my favourite kids' birthday cakes that I've ever made. I think I loved it because it was just so random. And as a cake decorator, every time you get a request for something that's a little strange, well, at least I do anyway, I'm excited. So you can see that I've added a cute little nose and mouth, and now I'm doing the eyes. I just used edible dust for that. I also added some blush just to add a little bit of colour. And then just to jazz it up a little bit, I popped some flowers around. And just look at it. It's just the cutest thing I've ever seen. And the customer even put a crown on it, and it's cuteness overload. Okie dokie, I'm so excited about this cake. I made it last week and I can finally share it with you guys. First up, it was massive. You can see here, it barely fits in the screen. The finished cake measured to about 14 inches. The cake itself was a pink butter cake with whipped ganache through the middle. And you're probably wondering, what the heck am I making? It kind of looks like a pink spaceship, but I am making a vacuum cleaner. You know those little robot vacuums? Well, this one is from the brand Roborock. It's the top of the range model. It mops and vacuums.
Like, wow.
And making this cake, it was harder than it looks. I also wanted to make sure that I got the cake bang on because it was being used in an ad, like a video ad that I got to be in as well. And it was the first one I'd ever done. And I was super nervous, but also excited. Anyway, here's the finished product. And here it is next to the real Roborock vacuum. I think I did a pretty good job. And then we did the shoot. I had so much fun. My cake looked so cool. Here's a little snippet of me cutting into it.
So you'll have to stay tuned for more on that. But in the meantime, here is my exclusive discount code for $200 off at eBargain.
Okie dokie and g'day guys, let's turn this much loved stuffed giraffe toy into a cake. I started off with the giraffe's body, which was all cake. The cake flavour was lemon mud. And for the head and also the legs, I decided to use Rice Krispie treats. The reason for that is because they're very stable, they're very light, and they're able to be moulded into whatever shape you like. After I had the whole cake covered in buttercream, I added my fondant elements. I did the feet, the nose, those little horns, and the ears all in fondant, and then I piped on the fur. So I just used my large grass tip nozzle. And one thing you want to make sure when you're piping with a grass tip is that your buttercream isn't too soft. The firmer your buttercream is, the better the grass tip will work. Once I had all the fur piped, I added a little tail, some eyes, and also some little spots on the back. Once again, I'm copying the little giraffe toy from the start. I then piped on the mane, and he's all done. Oh, I think it's so adorable. Okie dokie artichoke, let's make a 2D watercolour watermelon cake. Watercolour watermelon coming at ya. So the 2D cake trend, the cartoon cakes, has been massive lately. I feel like I'm seeing them everywhere, which is not a complaint because I love seeing everyone's versions. I think it's such a cool trend. I myself have made quite a few of them, but from the very start, I've been wanting to do a watermelon slice. Now, because I've done quite a few of these cakes now, I wanted to try something different. I wanted to mix it up a little bit. So I went with a watercolour version. I had this vision that it would look like a watercolour painting, and I love getting the paints out. Any excuse to get the paintbrushes out because it makes me feel really arty. So you can see I had a watermelon shaped cake. I covered it in ganache and then white fondant, and then I just watercolour painted over the whole thing with edible paints. I finished it off with a black outline and then stood the cake up. Had to paint the back, of course. And I was so happy with it. I thought it looked so cool. It's just so satisfying to see it all come together. And I love watermelon so much. Everything about them.
Okie dokie artichoke, it's my birthday tomorrow, so I'm making myself a cake to celebrate. The best thing about making your own cake is you get to make it exactly how you want. So the inside is going to be checkerboard with a pale pink, hot pink and purple, and I'm sticking it all together with some aqua icing. Once it's all stacked up, it's time to cover the entire thing in icing. And I tell you what, doing a square cake, it takes a lot longer than a round one. So once I had it as perfect as I was going to get it, it was time to cover it in fondant. Now, I know a lot of people hate fondant, and I don't care. This is my cake, not yours. I just love the look of fondant and how perfect you can get it, which is ideal for this trend, the cartoon trend. So you can probably guess I'm making a present. I'm making a birthday present cake for myself. Now, once again, because I'm making a cartoon cake, I lined everything in black so when that camera sits at a certain angle, it looks 2D. I didn't know if this one was going to work with the bow and stuff, but it did. It looks so cool. And the addition of those white highlights, I'm obsessed. Of course, I couldn't leave you without showing you those checkerboard cake guts. And it's just so fun. I mean, look at it. Happy birthday to me. Okie dokie, so I had some leftover red velvet cake and I thought, let's make something really fun. So you can see here I've cut my cake into triangles and now I'm stacking them up with some pink ganache. I then used that same pink ganache to cover the entire piece of cake. Once it was all smooth, it was time for the fondant. Now the type of cake that I'm making, it is a trend that's been around for a few months, but I haven't made one yet and I thought, I want to get in on the action. Every time I've seen one of these cakes, I have no idea where it originated, so shout out to the original creator because I wish I'd come up with this concept. But every time I see one, I'm like, it looks so cool. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's creating like a cartoon piece of cake. The comic book style cake. All the rage at the moment. And it's a super simple concept. You literally just line everything in black so that when the cake is sitting at a certain angle, it looks like a drawing. Like 100% looks like a cartoon. I had so much fun creating this cake. Like this afternoon was one of those days where I was like, this is my job and it rocks. Look at it. It looks like I've just put a clip art drawing of a cake in the picture. Okie dokie artichoke, I'm back with another figurine video. This time I've had a request for a horse, so let's make it. I've decided to make a chestnut pony with a white diamond blaze down the middle of its head. I am, of course, using fondant to make this figurine and I have added Tylose powder to my fondant so that it sets harder faster. To attach the head, I just use a wooden skewer and a little bit of water. I decided to go with a dark brown mane just for a little bit of contrast. And like all my other figurines, I have done my horse sitting down. I added a tail, I've got the eyes. I also added some eyelashes because why not? A little bit of blush. And I went with a pink halter because I don't know, I just wanted to. Everyone knows pink's my favourite colour. Well, if you didn't, you do now. And there's my cute little pony figurine. I just love it. Let me know what I should make next, guys. Bye!